Season 7 of Young Sheldon is just around the corner. And since we already know that it's the final one, we expect it to answer a few important questions. Is it possible that George stays alive? What's in store for Missy and her rebellious friend?
What if it's one of those times where I actually have to make the mistake to learn from it?
And what plot twist about Georgie should we expect?
What can I say? I'm entrepreneurialistic.
Will George pass away? This is something that pretty much all fans hoped wouldn't happen. After all, Sheldon's dad became a favorite character for many. But to keep the series consistent with the Big Bang Theory, he has to go. And most likely, it'll happen in Season 7. There were a few hints that possibly predicted the tragic event. First of all, George has already had a few minor heart attacks in Young Sheldon, so the fatal one certainly wouldn't come out of nowhere. Besides, there was an interesting detail at the end of Season 6. As George and Mary had marital issues, they were asked if they would get divorced, and the reply was quite intimidating.
We're not getting divorced.
Yeah, over my dead body.
Yeah, that's exactly how it's going to end.
Sure, Mary, as a good Christian, only meant the "till death do us part" thing from their wedding vows. Yet we all know that that's literally how their marriage will end. So, yeah, George will probably pass away in Season 7. But since it'll have fewer episodes than the previous ones, it's still possible that the writers decided to leave the tragic event behind the scenes. In this case, the already announced spin-off about Georgie and Mandy will certainly have to address it somehow. Unless the writers decide to skip it altogether and say that Young Sheldon happens in an alternate universe, we're yet to see how such a lighthearted show will handle this serious and dark topic. But it's not the only question about Sheldon's father. Did George really cheat on Mary? In The Big Bang Theory, Mary often discussed George's infidelity in the brightest terms, and even Sheldon said once that he saw his father having relations with another woman. Based on the timeline, it was supposed to be shown in Season 6, as he was 13. Yet the writers totally skipped it. Sure, there were countless hints about George's affair with the Coopers' neighbor, Brenda Sparks. That fateful night at the bar, when they almost went to her place.
Herschel does have the kids.
All the awkwardness after that.
What else you good at?
I should go.
And it all culminated in Mary seeing their cute talk while Mandy was in labor.
Oh, hey, Mary. What's going on?
But we never saw anything happen between George and Brenda. Even when they talked one-on-one, they'd say that nothing happened. And for sure, there was no hint of Sheldon walking in on them in the bed. Does it mean that the brilliant Dr. Cooper incorrectly remembered when it happened? That's pretty unlikely. It seems more probable that the writers decided to change the timeline, or that they just omitted the topic of cheating in this family-friendly show. We'll see if Season 7 helps us figure this out. Meanwhile, let's talk about another Cooper kid. Is Missy's rebel phase over? This young lady made quite a stir in Season 6, lying to her parents, stealing her dad's truck, running away from home. That's what years of being neglected can lead to. And even after getting in trouble with Paige, Missy didn't learn her lesson. She kept sneaking out of the house, and Sheldon caught her. He told their parents about it, concerned about her safety.
I would never be able to forgive myself if anything bad happened to you.
But Missy couldn't handle it.
I hate you.
Only after having a near-death experience with George on their way home from the airport does she have a change of heart.
I'm sorry for everything. It's been awful. I don't even know why.
Does it all mean that Missy's behavior will finally improve? She certainly has to think about what she's done and apologize to Sheldon. It would be great to see her do that, especially since the twins have such great chemistry together. Plus, Missy didn't hate Sheldon when she appeared in The Big Bang Theory, so it will be cool to see them reconcile in Season 7. But what about the young Cooper's friend and troubled child prodigy? What's next for Paige? Season 6 showed her in bigger trouble than ever. She drinks and might even agree to take some substances.
You do realize that alcohol kills brain cells.
Yeah, but it also makes life tolerable.
Moreover, the girl was ready to leave a party with some guy. And we can guess what would have happened if Missy and Sheldon hadn't stopped her. But the trouble didn't end there.
Let's pay and get out of here. Or let's not pay and get out of here.
Unlike Sheldon, Paige never felt good about being the smartest person in the room. She was sure that her intelligence didn't let her live a normal life. And when her parents got divorced, a real crisis started for the girl. Most probably, Season 7 will show us more of Paige. It might also explain why Sheldon never spoke about her in The Big Bang Theory. She was a crucial part of his and Missy's childhood. And at some point, he even thought he had a crush on her. But it looks like something happened that made Sheldon cross her out of his life. After all, he rarely shared his traumatic experiences. Remember how hard it was for him to discuss Tam's so-called betrayal? So Paige could have done something to offend him so deeply that he decided to forget all about her. While we're waiting for Season 7 to uncover this mystery, let's get back to the Cooper family. What will change for Meemaw? The final episode had problem after problem for her. First, Pastor Jeff found out about her gambling den.
What is all this?
A miracle.
Then her house got completely wrecked by a tornado, and Meemaw saw all her possessions scattered all over the place and her money flying around. Thankfully, even Pastor Jeff decided to show some compassion to Connie.
You've been through enough.
It's been quite a day.
We all hope he won't change his mind and report her to the police. Continuing to run the den and make money is crucial for Meemaw at the moment. But at the same time, Pastor Jeff had already made villain-like decisions earlier in the series. For example, he fired Mary from her church work after Georgie got Mandy pregnant. So there's always a chance he'll decide to tell on Meemaw's illegal business. It will also be interesting to see Connie rebuild her home. Or maybe the loss of her house will be the reason to finally settle down with Dale? We're yet to see that. Now, let's talk about another member of the Cooper family whose life is also about to change in Season 7. Will Georgie start a business? We remember that in The Big Bang Theory, the oldest Cooper kid was the head of Texas's biggest tire store network. It was funny how he called it Dr. Tire, probably to troll his brother, who has always been proud of his PhD status. Earlier in Young Sheldon, we saw Georgie work as an assistant at a tire shop, where he showed true talent.
Tell me where it hurts. Gotcha.
But other than that, there were no hints about how he'd start the business. Quite possibly, the introduction of Mandy's parents has prepared the ground for the birth of Dr. Tire. Do you remember that they run a tire store? So Georgie might start working for them in Season 7 to support his newborn daughter better. And here's another thing about this young man. We know from The Big Bang Theory that he had a huge falling out with Sheldon and didn't talk to him for years. Sheldon didn't even want to invite Georgie to his wedding because of that.
Sometimes you can't patch a tire, you just gotta buy a new one.
Only Mary's insistence that she wouldn't come without her eldest son made the two brothers reconcile. The 7th season may at least give us hints about how the falling out began. And it must also answer the next question. Will Georgie marry Mandy? In the first season, Sheldon mentioned that his brother married his first wife when he was 19. Georgie is approaching this age, and it looks like Mandy will be the one. Things seem to be going great between them. He loves her and seems to be a good father to their little one.
Stars at night are big and bright, deep in the...
4 claps, that's right. And at the end of Season 6, Mandy finally accepted his proposal.
Marry me.
All right, let's get married.
But will we hear the wedding bells in Season 7? Since the spin-off about Georgie and Mandy has already been announced, most probably we will. But we also know for a fact that their marriage won't last, as it was revealed in The Big Bang Theory that he had multiple wives. It'll be nice to see if at least the beginning of their life together will bring them happiness. And we'll certainly learn more about their marriage and divorce in the upcoming spin-off. Share in the comments below whether you think it will be interesting. And to learn more about the Young Sheldon universe, check out our other videos.